Chapter 6. A Childhood Prank. A Lifelong Vow. Today, I'm going to tell you a story that started with a simple childhood game and ended with a promise that lasted a lifetime. A story of a young boy, a near death moment, and a lesson so powerful it changed him forever. Let's begin. Long ago, in a place called Paadra, ruled by the Gaikwads of Baroda, there was a big pond on the edge of the village. The Gaikwad ruler had got this pond dug up himself. Along the banks of this pond grew a beautiful mango grove, shady, green, and full of life. For the children of the village, this place was like paradise. They loved playing there. One fine Sunday, a 6-year-old boy named Tribhuvan went to the pond with his friends to play a game called gilli-danda, a popular Indian game also known as tip cat. Tribhuvan tightened his loincloth, ready to play. He was having so much fun. Now it was Tribhuvan's turn to catch a boy named Chiman from Navgrahi Street. Hit the gilly with great force, and the little piece of wood went flying straight into the pond. Tribhuvan shook his head. I don't know how to swim, he said firmly. I will not go into the pond to get the gilly. But Chiman smiled and said, the water is not too deep and it is your turn, so you have to go and get it. Tribhuvan was not willing, but his friends kept pushing him. Slowly, very carefully, he put his one foot into the water. The gilly seemed closed, but the water was slimy and muddy. Just as he reached out to grab the gilly, a breeze blew it further away, just beyond his fingers. The boy standing on the bank started teasing him. What are you afraid of? Just take one more step and you will reach. Tribhuvan gathered all his courage. He took one step forward and then disaster. His foot slipped in the sludge. The muddy ground gave way. The current grabbed him and began pulling him deeper and deeper into the water. The more he struggled to get out, the more he was dragged in. The water was too deep. Tribhuvan was drowning. Help me, he screamed, fighting with all his might. But none of his friends knew how to swim. They stood on the bank, screaming in panic. Please, someone save Tribhuvan. He is drowning. The terrifying struggle in the muddy water went on for several long minutes. It felt like forever. Then, by God's grace, a shepherd passing nearby heard the desperate cries. He came running towards the pond. He saw Tribhuvan's hand rising above the water, then disappearing, then rising again, as if begging to be pulled out. Without wasting a single second, the shepherd jumped into the pond. He was a strong swimmer. Within moments, he pulled Tribhuvan out to safety. Tribhuvan lay on the bank, trembling from head to toe. His body shook with cold. His jaw chattered. His lungs gasped for air. He had come so close to death. His terrified friends carried him home. Back home, his grandmother, Ratanba, had been waiting since noon to have lunch with Tribhuvan. When she saw a crowd of boys carrying her grandson towards the house, her heart almost stopped. Her stomach turned with fear. She quickly spread out a cot in the courtyard for him to lie down. Miraculously, Tribhuvan had suffered no serious injuries, but that evening he was much better. But Ratanba was not going to let this go. She looked at Tribhuvan sternly and said, Why did you enter the pond without my permission? You must have gone for fun. No, grandmother, Tribhuvan replied. I did not go for fun. My foot slipped while I was trying to collect the gilli. But Ratanba was firm. I don't want to hear any more of this. You are coming with me right now to meet the Sadhviji Maharaj at the Upashray, and you will take a vow never to enter a pond again. At the Upashray, the place where Jain monks and nuns stay, Ratanba told the whole story to the holy nun, Sadhviji Shri Darshan Shriji Maharaj, who was preparing for her evening prayers called Pratigaman. The compassionate Sadhviji patiently listened to every word. Then she gently turned to Tribhuvan and asked, Do you know what a great sin you have committed by entering the pond? Tribhuvan was surprised. Great sin? How is that possible? He asked innocently. The Sadhviji explained with great kindness. When you entered that pond, You hurt, injured, and may have even killed many tiny creatures living in the water. And not just the creatures, you can see the water itself, according to our holy scriptures, the Shastras, is a life form. Innumerable tiny souls together form even a single drop of water. You may have caused great harm to all of them. She continued, in our Jain Dharma, we do not believe that God is the creator or that the world runs by his orders. Jainism teaches us that you are the master of your own destiny, not God. The path of our dharma is simply the path to happiness, and that happiness is only possible when our actions do not cause misery and pain to other living beings. Then she said something that went straight to Tribhuvan's heart. So be careful, be kind. Today, even while playing, you may have committed a sin, and that sin can become the cause of future pain and suffering for you. Young Tribhuvan listened to each and every single word, and something deep inside him understood the truth in those words. He folded his hands with full respect and sincerity, and he said, I do not want to sin by hurting or killing so many creatures. Please give me a vow. From this very moment, of never entering a pond or any body of water, for any reason whatsoever. And right there, the 6-year-old boy made a lifelong vow with joined hands and an honest heart, never to enter a pond or any body of water for any motive for the rest of his life. What started as a childhood prank became a lifelong promise, and that promise, made in a moment of truth, shaped the soul of his young boy forever. This is the power of single moment of awareness. One near death experience, one wise teacher, one loving grandmother, and one brave little heart, ready to listen, ready to learn, and ready to commit. Tribhuvan did not just survive that day, he grew from it. And that is the mark of a truly great soul. End of chapter 6.